The Galactic Council's observation post on Titan gleamed like a silver needle against Saturn's rings. Inside, senior observer Xilax reviewed the latest reports from Earth with growing concern. His crystalline fingers traced patterns across the holographic display, each movement revealing more data about humanity's unprecedented technological acceleration. "Another quantum computing breakthrough," he muttered, his four eyes blinking in sequence. "Third one this month." The movements of his secondary arms betrayed his unease as he composed his report to the Council. For centuries, the Galactic Council had watched Earth from afar, following the strict non-interference protocols established after the great mistake of Proxima Centauri. Humanity was meant to be just another emerging species, slowly finding its way to the stars. Instead, they had become something else entirely. Ambassador Thelia entered the observation chamber, her bioluminescent patterns shifting with concern. "The Council has reviewed your previous reports, Xilax. They're calling for an emergency session." "It's about time," Xilax replied, gesturing to the display. "Look at these energy signatures. They're not just advancing. They're preparing." The holographic display showed Earth's power grid evolving like a living organism. Massive energy signatures pulsed beneath the planet's surface, hidden from casual observation, but clear to the Council's advanced sensors. What troubled Xilax most wasn't the technology itself, but the pattern. Every major human advancement seemed to have a military application carefully concealed beneath civilian purposes. "They're building something," Thelia observed, her patterns flashing with anxiety. "Those energy signatures match theoretical weapons systems." "Theoretical to us," Xilax corrected. "I believe they've had these capabilities for decades. They've just been waiting, watching, preparing." The Council's original plan had been simple: wait until humanity achieved faster-than-light travel, then welcome them to the galactic community. But humanity had taken an unexpected path. Instead of following the normal technological progression, they had developed in bursts and secrets, keeping their true capabilities hidden beneath a veneer of peaceful exploration. Reports from other observation posts began flooding in. Lunar bases expanding overnight. Asteroid mining operations that seemed to produce more refined materials than reported. Quantum communication networks that somehow evaded the Council's best detection systems. "The Nexian Empire is pushing for immediate intervention," Thelia announced, her patterns now showing streaks of dark concern. "They believe waiting any longer would be catastrophic." Xilax felt his stomach chambers constrict. The Nexians were known for their aggressive approach to emerging civilizations. Intervention would be a mistake. "We don't know what they're truly capable of." A sudden alert flashed across the holographic display. New energy signatures were appearing across Earth's surface. Massive structures, previously hidden by advanced cloaking technology, were becoming visible to their sensors. "By the first light," Thelia whispered, her bioluminescence dimming in shock. "Those are planetary defense systems. They've had them all along." Xilax quickly began composing an emergency transmission to the Council. "We need to stop the Nexians if they move against Earth now." His warning came too late. On the display, a Nexian battle fleet dropped out of hyperspace near Mars. Their energy signatures showed weapons charging, a standard intimidation tactic used countless times before. Earth's response was anything but standard. The planet's surface erupted with activity. Hidden installations revealed themselves like awakening giants. Energy readings went off the scale as defensive systems activated with practiced precision. This was no panicked response of an emerging civilization. This was a carefully prepared defense plan executing flawlessly. "They're not just ready for this," Xilax realized, watching the data streams with growing awe. "They've been expecting it." The first shots fired by the Nexian fleet never reached Earth's atmosphere. They disappeared into fields of energy that shouldn't have been possible with known physics. The counter-response from Earth's defense systems was devastating in its efficiency. As the observation post's sensors struggled to track the unfolding battle, Xilax understood what they had all missed. Humanity hadn't been sleeping. They had been preparing, building, waiting for this moment. The galaxy had watched Earth like scientists observing a curious specimen, never realizing they were the ones being studied. The giant wasn't awakening. It had been awake all along, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. The Galactic Council chambers erupted in chaos as the battle footage from Mars played on the central hologram. Dozens of species, each representing vast civilizations, watched in stunned silence as the mighty Nexian fleet scattered before Earth's defense systems. First Admiral Corva of the Nexian Empire stood rigid before the Council, her scaled armor reflecting the harsh light of the chamber. "Impossible," she hissed. "No emerging civilization could possess such technology." High Counselor Ven, their gaseous forms swirling with agitation, addressed the chamber. "We have recovered data from Earth's historical archives that may explain this unexpected development." The hologram shifted to display images from humanity's past conflicts. Centuries of warfare, innovation, and determination played out before the Council's eyes. But what caught everyone's attention wasn't the violence. It was the pattern of advancement that followed each conflict. "Their entire history is a cycle of conflict and innovation," explained Archivist Nixis, her crystalline form refracting light as she moved through the chamber. "What we mistook for random technological bursts were carefully orchestrated reveals of capabilities they had possessed for years, sometimes decades. The evidence was undeniable. Humanity had unified not through peaceful evolution like most species, but through a shared understanding of external threats. The discovery of the Council's observation posts hadn't prompted panic or aggression. It had catalyzed preparation. "This goes deeper than we imagined," Xilax reported from his station on Titan. "We've detected massive underground complexes across Earth and their solar system. Manufacturing facilities, research centers, training grounds, all hidden from our standard scans." New data streamed into the chamber, showing the true extent of human preparation. What appeared to be civilian space stations were actually military installations in disguise. Cargo ships carried weapon systems alongside their declared goods. Even their entertainment media had served a purpose, testing public response to various first contact scenarios. The most disturbing aspect, Thelia added, her patterns now pulsing with deep blues of concern, is their unified defense protocol. Every nation, every colony, every station operates under a single military doctrine while maintaining the appearance of independence. The chamber fell silent as classified footage began playing. It showed the aftermath of the Nexian fleet's defeat, not just a tactical victory, but a complete technological superiority. Human ships had appeared from seemingly nowhere, using drive systems that defied known physics. Their weapons had bypassed Nexian shields as if they didn't exist. They let us watch them. First Admiral Corva realized, her pride crumbling. Every technology we observed, every advancement we monitored. They wanted us to see it, but their true capabilities were never revealed until necessary. High Counselor Ven completed. The question now becomes, what else are they hiding? Deep in Earth's Himalayan complex, General Raina Zhao reviewed the after-action reports with satisfaction. Decades of preparation, generations of careful planning, had paid off exactly as intended. On screens around her, the global defense network hummed with precision, ready but not threatening. "Send the message," she commanded. Across the galaxy, on every council world and colonial outpost, the same transmission appeared. It was simple, direct, and terrifying in its implications. "For centuries, we watched you watching us. We learned. We prepared. We hoped this day would never come, but we made sure we would be ready if it did. The galaxy now faces a choice. Accept humanity as equals, or learn why our history of conflict has made us undefeatable." In the council chamber, the implications sank in. Humanity hadn't just surprised them. They had outmaneuvered them on every level. The technological gap wasn't just significant. It was intentionally maintained to keep their true capabilities hidden. Their shield technology, Archivist Nixus observed, analyzing the battle data. It's based on principles we thought impossible. The energy requirements alone should have been detected. Unless, Xilax interjected, his revelation sending shockwaves through the chamber. They found a way to hide energy signatures we didn't even know to look for. The implications were staggering. Every assessment of Earth's capabilities had been based on what humans had allowed them to see. Their true technological level remained unknown, hidden behind layers of misdirection and carefully crafted appearances. We must respond to their message, High Counselor Ven declared. But first, we need to understand what we're truly dealing with. In her mountain complex, General Zhao smiled as reports of the Council's reaction came in. Humanity had revealed enough to demonstrate their strength, but kept enough hidden to maintain their advantage. The real question wasn't whether the galaxy would accept humanity as equals. It was whether they would realize that humanity had already surpassed them long ago. The giant hadn't just awakened. It had evolved beyond anyone's expectations, and the galaxy would never be the same. The Nexian Empire's response to their fleet's defeat came not through military action, but through something far more insidious. Trade routes began mysteriously failing. Supply ships disappeared. Colonies reported communication disruptions. Inside the Nexian Palace of Strategic Victory, Emperor Kharketh watched the systematic isolation of Earth's allies with cold satisfaction. Let them feel what it means to stand alone, he declared to his war council. Their technology means nothing without resources. But the Nexians had gravely miscalculated. In orbit around Neptune, the supposedly civilian station, Deep Space Research Post 7, transformed overnight. Massive hangar doors opened in its sides, revealing shipyards that had remained hidden for decades. From its depths emerged vessels that made the Nexian fleet look primitive by comparison. Operation Lighthouse is go, General Zhao announced from her command center. Show them why you don't corner a species that perfected the art of war. The human response was devastating in its precision. Instead of attacking Nexian military targets, Earth's ships simply appeared in key trading systems across the galaxy. Their message was simple: trade would continue, protected by human vessels, or not at all. The Nexian Empire's attempt at economic warfare had accidentally revealed humanity's greatest secret. They didn't need the galaxy's trade networks. Earth's self-sufficiency had been part of their preparation all along. Impossible. Emperor Exarcheth raged as reports flooded in. Their ships can't be everywhere at once. But they were. Human vessels demonstrated transportation technology that made traditional FTL travel look primitive. They didn't just protect trade routes, they rendered them obsolete. The galaxy watched in awe as humanity's full capabilities unveiled themselves. What had appeared to be simple defense platforms around Earth revealed themselves as nodes in a vast network of space-time manipulation technology. In the council chambers, Xilax presented his latest findings with trembling appendages. They don't just have superior technology, he explained. They've fundamentally altered their understanding of physics. What we thought were the limits of possible technology were just stepping stones for them. The Nexian Empire made one final desperate attempt to assert their dominance. They launched their entire reserve fleet, 10,000 ships, toward Earth. It was meant to be an overwhelming display of force. It became, instead, a demonstration of futility. Earth's defense network activated in full for the first time. Space itself seemed to bend and twist. The Nexian fleet found themselves fighting an enemy that could literally reshape reality around them. We never wanted this. General Zhao's message echoed across all frequencies. We prepared for war precisely because we hoped to avoid it. Stand down, and let's build something better together. The battle lasted less than an hour. Not a single human ship was lost. The Nexian fleet, pride of an empire that had stood for 10,000 years, surrendered unconditionally. 1 year after the Nexian surrender, the galaxy had transformed. Human technology, carefully released in measured doses, revolutionized everything from transportation to medicine. But it wasn't just their technology that changed things, it was their approach to civilization itself. In the newly constructed Galactic Assembly on Luna, representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered to sign the Treaty of Sol. It wasn't just a peace agreement, it was a framework for a new kind of interstellar civilization. We hid our true nature not out of fear. General Zhao, now Earth's primary representative, addressed the assembly, but because we wanted to ensure that when we finally revealed ourselves, it would be on terms that promoted peace rather than continued conflict. The truth about humanity's preparation became clear. They hadn't just built weapons and ships. They had created an entirely new model of civilization. Their technology wasn't just advanced. It was designed to be shared, to lift up other species rather than dominate them. In his final report to the now-reformed Council, Xilax wrote, "We thought we were watching a sleeping giant. Instead, we were watching a species that had transcended the very concept of traditional power. They didn't just advance beyond us technologically. They evolved past the need for the kind of dominance we all took for granted." The old observation post on Titan was converted into a diplomatic academy, where species from across the galaxy came to learn from humanity's unique perspective. The very qualities that had made humans such effective warriors, adaptability, creativity, determination, proved even more valuable in creating peace. Emperor Xarketh, in his formal surrender speech, perhaps summed it up best. "We feared their power, but we should have feared their wisdom more. They didn't defeat us with their weapons. They defeated us by being ready for peace even as they prepared for war." The giant had not just awakened. It had risen above the very conflicts that had shaped it, becoming something entirely new. And in doing so, it had lifted the entire galaxy with it. In her private quarters overlooking the Earth, General Zhao watched the sun rise over the Pacific. Humanity's long vigil, their careful preparation, their measured revelation of power, it had all led to this moment. Not dominance, but partnership. Not fear, but respect. The sleeping giant had awakened, and in doing so, had taught the galaxy a new way to dream.